Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Buyer's Remorse with Darren and Justin.
Hello and welcome to Buyer's Remorse. I'm Justin.
I'm Darren.
Here on Buyer's Remorse, we find games that are hidden in each other's libraries, untouched or unplayed, and we force that person to play it and report back after 60 minutes of play to say if it was a wonderful buyer's confirmation or a dreaded buyer's remorse. What game did I choose for you this time?
I got Journal from you this time.
All right. That's still not the one I'm really waiting for, but okay. I don't remember anything about Journal.
Journal was made by Locked Door Puzzle. Do you remember those guys?
Not offhand.
They made Kairo.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, now I have an idea of what you're going for, and unfortunately, you liked Kairo, so...
Yeah, I did like Kairo, but this is nothing like Kairo. This is really, really different. This came out in February 2014. 2014? Try that again. This came out in February 2014. They made Kairo, and they made another game called Cosplay Maker, which I don't own. Journal is mostly positive. It's $10, and how long to beat has it at between 2 and 3 hours. Probably 3 hour mark for me because I go very, very slowly. But it's visually striking, is what I would say is what you see immediately. It's basically you've got a journal on your desk. So you're in your room, you're at a desk, you flip open the journal.
Do you see your character, or are you just looking at the desk?
You don't see your character. It's kind of like, I guess, Inscription in a sense, where you're just at a table and the thing's in front of you. When you open the journal, it's beautiful kind of watercolor pictures. And basically all you do is just do left and right and spacebar to interact. And you just, as you walk off screen, off the page will flip and then you'll get another watercolored kind of scene to go through. There's not a lot of areas that I've found so far. There's a school, your house, a park, and then like a section of town that has like a post office and an old charity shop and things like that.
You say that you found different sections. At some point, do you get to choose where you're going?
Yeah, you get to choose. I mean, basically, you've got a page, and so you can go off the page to the left or off the page to the right. And basically, so if you come out of the house, you go off the page to the right, and that'll take you on a path to school. If you go to the left, it'll take you on a path to the park. And then, like I said, everything's done in this really nice watercolor, kind of very bright style, like total opposite of what Kairo was. You know, Kairo was like monochromatic almost. They had like 3 or 4 colors, and it was...
Well, you had that color for that puzzle. That's
right, yeah. The zones were that color. And so, take Kairo, throw all of that in the bin, and Journal is just completely different, absolutely different. But it opens like a film, which is weird. You get this opening, like movie, like kind of opening credits, where it's like telling you who voices the game and who wrote it, and the screen is kind of like flying over some table or whatever and showing you like a pencil and a sharpener and a ruler and stuff, like the person that's maybe crafting this journal. So it's quite nice. It's Wednesday, October 1997 on the Journal, and basically this girl who you play.
Okay, before we do that, it's from 2014 though, yes?
Yeah.
The game.
Yeah.
So this is in a way a nostalgia game?
I guess it's just set in the past, you know. It's just set in 1997. That's all I took from it, really. It's just you're playing a girl in high school in the 90s.
All right, but this isn't the case of this game was made in 2000 and we're getting it now on Steam.
No, it's not a nostalgia game. Yeah, it's not like an old remake or something. I think that's just the time that they went with.
Okay, that's fine.
Just to maybe put things into, like, just to get rid of cell phones and to get rid of email and things like that, because you do have to go to the post office and things like that. And so the girl kind of is at her table, and then she realizes that her journal used to be filled with words and now it's blank and all the pages have gone missing. And so she goes to her mum and says, have you been messing with my journal? And the mum's like, no. And so you can go left to the park or right to school. You go to school and you get all this story about she's got this friend, but the girl doesn't treat people very well. By the looks of it, she's not a very nice friend. She hangs out with like the cool, like bratty kids in school and kind of makes fun of like the kind of the other students that study well and things like that. So she doesn't seem like the nicest character.
She's one of the mean girls.
She's one of the mean girls. Yeah, it looks like. But
and that's the character that we are
playing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't really like that. So I'm my playthrough, which I guess you can. I don't know if the choices matter yet. They don't seem to matter yet, but you do get options to like, I've been going against the bullies now, so I'm just like, nah, you're not cool. Like, I'm trying to get kicked out of the group. So I set up, there's this girl called Annie, and she's like the school nerd, and she likes this boy, and so I got them together. So Catherine, my friend, she really hates me now. So it's like, yeah, stick it to the group. But yeah, but there's a lot of things going on. There's like, so you go and see this guy called John who works in the park. He's like the park keeper. John and my mum have done some things. My dad and my mum got divorced, probably because of John. My dad has found another girlfriend and I'm not happy about it. My grandmother's dead and I didn't like her either. And so it's like, yeah, like a teen growing up thing. But back to your favorite style of telling a story. She's a very unreliable narrator. So,
in what way? Is it just because she might be portraying herself in the best light?
She's forgetting things. And so there's parts of the story, like, so for example, someone threw a brick through the school window and I don't know who it is, but my friend, like Elena or whatever her name is, who's like she seems to be a very nice girl, but I keep on calling her clingy and things like that. But she seems all right, and she seems like someone that I just use for favors and things like that. But I told John, the gardener, that she did it, but it turns out that I think that I did it. And then in another section, I went into a charity shop because they've got like this nice snow globe, and I looked at it and I talked to the owner and said I want to buy it. I'll come back later. I didn't actually steal it, but I find out later, I did steal it. And so I don't really know what's going on. It's that kind of story. It's a bit, there's gaps everywhere, and I guess after the fact you get to fill them in, and we're coming to some kind of conclusion, but I'm not sure what it is.
How far are you into the game?
I don't know. Obviously an hour.
I didn't know if you'd played beyond that at this point.
Yeah, no. I just played this last night, so I just got an hour in. Maybe I got like an hour and 10 because I wanted to hit the end of the chapter. Because what they do is, at the end of every chapter, you go back, like basically once you talk to enough people or trigger some kind of like win condition for the chapter, you see journal pages fly through the air. And so you follow them. And it takes you back to your house, back to your room, and then your journal kind of has like words coming out of it. And so when you click on that, you get up from your desk and turn, and then there's like a kind of Punch and Judy puppet thing, and then they have like these little puppets on sticks, like kind of shadow puppets on sticks, and they tell you this story. And I thought at first it's just like, oh, that was a weird story, because it was like something about a carnival, and the carnival comes to town and blah, 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 blah. And then everyone has fun and then it's gone, as carnivals do, they move on. And I was like, oh, okay, that was a bit of a weird story. But then you do it again and then you do the next chapter and you finish it and then the pages fly through the air and then you go back to your journal. And I was like, oh, what are we going to get this time? We're going to get something different. But no, you get up and then it's a continuation of that puppet show about that carnival. And so, but the stories are just really weird. Like there's one about a lion and a chicken. I think it's called The Lion and the Chicken. And basically some guy says to the lion, hey lion, if you give me that chicken, then I'll be really happy. And so you go, but you don't do anything. You just listen to the story. And so the lion goes and he gets the chicken and gives it to him because he wants like special treatment. He wants to get into the tightrope walking thing. So he's like, if you get me that chicken, I'll get you on the high wire. But then he gets the chicken. He's like, you can't do the high wire, And everybody hates the lion because he stole the chicken. Maybe that's about the snow globe. Maybe that's what it's all about. But then the third one...
I'm guessing it has to relate in some way. Or
I mean, it should.
It'd make no sense if it doesn't relate in some way.
Because then the next one is about some guy in a hall of mirrors, and he's basically, when he looks into a mirror, he sees something that's not there. And so he's looking for that mirror that shows him his life when he used to be happy, and he just walks around looking for that mirror until the carnival disappears, kind of thing, moves on. And that was as far as I got. I got through about 3 chapters.
Okay.
And yeah, there you go. It's and there's some odd moments in it as well where you're talking to people, and so there's usually a text bar that tells you what they're saying. Sometimes it's narrated by a woman, and there's basically 2 people doing the voice work. There's a woman who does the main character, and then there's a man who does the carnival story. And sometimes when you're talking as the girl, the text box will come up, and then it'll just be like just gibberish words, like letters just all scrambled up. And so I don't know what that is, but it's just everything is unreliable, you know? It's just like, I don't know what's going on. I can't trust anything that she's saying. She's saying she's not. She's saying that she's innocent, but I know she's probably not now. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Well, that kind of leads into our questions. So you've played for an hour. Will you play more?
I will. I'll have to. Because I think I'm probably at least halfway there. So, I mean, how long would it be? 2 hours or 3 hours for, like, you know, the longest play. So I'm between a third and a half done.
You think you'll finish it then?
I definitely think I will finish it, yeah. Because it's not bad. It's not a bad game. It's just, again, visual novels. That's what it feels like. It's not really... I'm not really doing much. Sounds familiar. But I'm just clicking through story. And I don't really have to pick up anything. Steam has it tagged as a point and click. This should be one of the ones that we should...
flag. It's not really a point and click.
Crazy Pyro on. So, yeah, it's not a point and click. It acts like a point and click. Like you should, it feels like you should be able to point around the screen and pick up things and click on where you want to go, but it's not. You just left, right, spacebar. You don't actually pick up anything. You just trigger the next scene to happen through your dialogue options, and basically you just have to run through all of the dialogue options before they run out, and then they get stuck in that loop where they'll still have that one to talk about because maybe you've got to find something out, then come back later and talk about that. But if you've not found that thing out, it's just going to keep on asking you, oh, hello again, what about this? And then, okay, bye, I've got to go. Oh, hello again, what about this? Oh, bye, I have to go. So, yeah, kind of dumb.
Would you recommend this to me?
I think so. I think you'd like this, because it's really pretty to look at, and the story is maybe not your thing.
I'm not sure if teen angsty is
Yeah.
really my thing anymore.
But,
I think I've seen so much of it.
But, I mean, it's definitely interesting, and it's got some... It might... Even if it's worth it just to see some little things where you're just like, oh, that's interesting. Because, like, what they do is they'll block off areas of the map. So, for example, I wanted to get to the post office, but I couldn't get into town yet because there's an actual post-it on the page. So I bump into that post-it and I can't progress. Or on the other side, there's a paperclip in the way. Or on one page, there's a ruler in the way. So they've put like real life objects onto the map to block your progress, which I thought was kind of interesting. The sun is made from a coffee stain, so once someone's left their cup on the journal. And just little things like that, like just little touches I can appreciate. I think you would appreciate them. I'd
appreciate them, maybe on a super sale.
Yeah. $10 is a lot for an indie game that is only a couple of hours long, in my opinion, as well. But I would suggest it to you, and I would recommend it to anyone that likes, like a kind of a visual novel that maybe has a little bit of mystery in it, and you're trying to piece together the story, and just some interesting, some really pretty artwork as well. But don't go into this expecting Kairo. That's for sure. That is for sure.
What tags did you give it?
I gave it artistic, visual novel, and hand painted, because I think all the drawings are kind of hand painted. And they are. They're really well done. They're really well done. And the pages they're painted. What's that effect called? Where it's like they've taken a picture of it and then they've moved it slightly and taken another picture, and they kind of fuzzy in and out of each other. You know, it looks like they're moving, but they're not really. Is
it like those old stickers where you hold it one way?
Kind of, yeah.
It looks like it's moving because they have two different positions.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like that.
Sadly, I think I know the answer to this one. So, is this a buyer's confirmation or a buyer's remorse?
Sorry, man. It's a confirmation again. Thanks.
Ugh.